This is what I want you all to do when you go home, and do it alone. Write the quality of the sound heart and apply it in your daily life, and see how many times, listen to this, how many times you will fail and how many times you will succeed. Because this is a process. This is not, today you heard this, tomorrow you are mashallah Sayyidina Ibrahim. It's not going to happen this way. It's a struggle. This is actually Imam Ibn al-Qayyim. And he said, Al-Qalbu Salim, the true heart, is the heart that is free of the followings. There's a long list, but bear with me. Free, meaning nothing. It's not like 10% to 90%. Zero, nothing. خلا أو خالي أو سليمة من كل شهوة تخالف أمر الله ونهيه. The heart that is free from every desire. Pay attention to every word I'm saying. Every desire in me or you that goes against what Allah said do or don't, I don't have it in my heart. For example, are you ready for a tough examples? I think you are. Bismillah. What is the most important thing for the woman? Her beauty. How do we look? That's reality. And actually this is how Allah created us. There is nothing haram about that. I'm talking in general, the concept, right? We all want to look beautiful. And I'm talking again about general concept. We all look at the mirror before we leave. Right? I do this or I don't do that. Or why? Because I want to look beautiful. General concept. Now comes to my heart, and what does it have? Related to beauty. Are you all with me? And then you can put any other example. So I am looking at the mirror before I leave, wherever I am going. And if I put this lipstick, again, I'm giving reality examples related to women. If I'm going to put this lipstick, I'm going to look more beautiful. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to deny it because then I'm a liar. Right? Or if I'm going to put this nail polish, or I am going to put this fake eyelashes that is the norm these days, I'm going to look more beautiful. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to say, no, you look ugly. Then I am not living the reality. My desire, my nafs wants to look more beautiful. I'm looking at that mirror and I say, I look much better, especially with this color. Nothing wrong with that. Now come to the qalbu salim. Now I am debating, is that pleasing to Allah? Are you all with me? Remember, that heart has nothing in it but Him, capital H. So I'm looking at the mirror and there is this debate and nobody is hearing it except you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you're going to say, but this is not pleasing to Him because He said don't show your beauty, right? Except to the few exceptions. Why I'm doing it? Because I like it. I love it. People will praise me. That's my desire. Now, Qalbu Salim is going to stand up and going to say, no. This desire is not pleasing to Allah. In fact, it's against what He said. I'm going to go right away and remove the lipstick. Then my heart is salim. Are you all with me? And take it on everything else. I gave you just a simple example. One of the issues we have, I'm not talking about people. Before people, I'm still in the house alone, is the debate inside me. There's a big debate inside us. Most of us have this sound of good heart. When I do something wrong, I know I am doing it. True or false? Very unlikely. Very unlikely I really didn't know. But most of the time, I know. What happens? Why do I do it? Not only I like it. Now listen to this. I start justifying it. And that's how shaitan operates on me. One of the biggest tools of shaitan operates on me to justify the disobedience is Allah is Ghafoor Rahim. Allah is all forgiving, Allah is all merciful. Absolutely Allah is all forgiving, all merciful. Who I am or who you are to deny this. But what do I do with the other part? مَا يُقَالُ لَكَ. I love this verse. It's in Surah Fussilat. مَا يُقَالُ لَكَ إِلَّا مَا قَدْ قِيلَ لِلرُّسُلِ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ. What we are going to tell you is nothing different than what we have said to the prophets before you. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَذُو مَغْفِرَةٍ وَذُو عِقَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. Your Lord owns a lot of forgiveness. We live with this side. وَذُو عِقَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. And He has a painful punishment. So when I am trying to justify my disobedience to Allah, and I just gave you the simple example. Same thing when I want to wake up for Fajr. Same thing when I'm so upset with this person and I'm gonna say it. Something in me say, don't say it. This is not pleasing to Allah, and back and forth. All these justification acts, it's all from shaitan. Your heart. This is what I want you all to do when you go home, and do it alone. Write the quality of the sound heart and apply it in your daily life, and see how many times, listen to this one, how many times you will fail and how many times you will succeed. Because this is a process. This is not, today you heard this, tomorrow you are mashallah Sayyidina Ibrahim. It's not going to happen this way. It's a struggle, because I don't know, number one, and once I know, it's a tough road, because I'm going against the most difficult factor, which is me, by the way. Don't blame people. We always blame people. I don't blame people, I blame me, number one. Right? But again, we live in a society, it's always someone else's fault. Right? I failed because the teacher doesn't love me. I don't say I didn't study, or I don't say, you know what, I studied very well, but Allah did not want me to pass. I always blame it on somebody else. So number one, the heart that is free. When I say free, I mean there is nothing. So I can say I'm working on it. I'm in the process. Like I'm losing weight, my goal, whatever the goal, I didn't reach it yet, but I'm working on it. So my goal is my heart is free. Nothing, any desire that does not please Allah, and any desire that does not please Allah is out. Number one. Now the second one, which is the toughest one, especially living in the West, being sophisticated, educated. And وَمِن كُلِّ شُبْهَةٍ تُعَارِضُ خَبَرَهُ. And from every thought that goes against what he said. Are you all with me? Every thought goes against what he said. Who can give me an example? Applies to women. Al-hijab, absolutely. Dress Islamically properly. What do you hear? Number one, it's not in the Quran. It's not in the Quran, which is absolutely wrong. But that's the easiest way. I said, it's not in the Quran. He didn't tell me. تُعَارِضُ خَبَرَهُ. It's a thought in my mind, and I am actually denying, or my thought is absolutely against what he told me. And I always tell people, really, it's not in the Quran? You read the Quran, all of it? And she said, absolutely. I said, mashallah. No, I'm not making fun. It's mashallah. She read it. And I say, you understand everything in the Quran, every word, at least word to word? She said, yes. Okay? I said, fine. Open Surah An-Nur. Right? Okay? وَلْيَضْرِبْنَ بِخُمُرِهِنَّ عَلَى جُيُوبِهِنَّ. Let them press their khimar hard on their bosom or their chest. She said, yeah, I know that. Okay, what is khimar? Don't answer me. Khimar is any material you use that by default cover the head, by default. And I always give this example to make it very easy for everyone. Because sometimes men argue with this, by the way, it's not only women. And I say, when I say trouser, let's say easier, when I say shorts, what does short mean? Which part of the body is already covered? The private part, there's no question, right? If I'm gonna say, make your short longer, does that mean the private part is not covered? Or it is covered by default, right? But that means make it longer. I'm giving you an example to make it easier to understand. That's what Allah said. So when I come, because I don't want it, or it is difficult for me, or whatever the reason, and by the way, and I'm saying this in public, putting hijab is not easy. If any one of you say hijab is easy, there's two possibilities. Either you have not done it yet. No, really. I really mean, or Allah made it easy for you. Subhanallah. But in general, it is absolutely against everything I want to do. Because Shaitan keeps telling me, and even I tell myself, I don't look beautiful. And I want to look beautiful. All of us. So when my thoughts, now back to the qalb al-salim, when the thoughts comes in my mind that is opposite what Allah is saying, and I start justifying, it's not in the Quran, no, this is not, let alone when I come and discuss and I argue about al-Bukhari and about the hadith, and I have no idea what is the name of al-Imam al-Bukhari. Absolutely my heart is not settled. There's a huge difference between me when I say, you know what, I know it's an obligation. And I know Allah said it in the Quran. Make dua for me. but Allah make it easy. This woman, you kiss her on the head and you make a dua to her because she's really struggling. Versus somebody looked at me and says, I'm not convinced. That's a tough one. Again, don't blame people, don't attack people, but it's a tough one because this one you have to convince her. And usually my mind, and again, please forgive me, you're all women, especially we women when we get educated. When we get very educated in dunya things, we think we know everything. And our kibr increase, our arrogance, all of us, whatever your job is, and especially if you are successful and well known, it's so hard to go against your ego. You have to be really honest. Now you go home and says, what do I like? And what I don't like, that's desire. Is what I like is exactly what Allah told me? Is what I don't like is opposite? What is my thoughts? My thoughts. And apply it on whatever decision you need to make, whether in dunya or whether in akhirah. And then he says, so these two, and then he says, then that heart, when it is absolutely clear from salam, from every thought that is opposite Allah's order or order to do or not to do, and absolutely free from every thought that goes against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Quran and Sunnah, then he says, that heart, this is what I love actually, this is me. He said that heart now is free from slavery to anything but to Allah. In general, if you again look deep down, think of this. Wallahi, we are slaves to so many things. If someone look at me and says, you're a slave, I'll get offended. But reality, I am. I'm slave to what people think of me. I'm slave to the things I love. I'm slave to food. I'm slave to sleep, right? I'm slave to talking. I'm slave to talking. These days, I'm slave to social media and online. But when my heart is these two things, follow what he said, Subhanah, I become the real servant of Allah. Subhana alladhi asra bi'abdi laylan min al-masjid al-haram ila al-masjid al-aqsa. Glory him who moved his servant. He called the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam slave, because that's the highest level of worship. When you are a true slave to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, what does the slave do? When you ask anything, what do they say? Yes. Yes, sir. If you live in countries where you have people who serve you, right? What do they say? Yes. Yes. No argument. That's the true slave. Do I say to Allah yes every time? Categorically, 24-hour, 7 day, 24/7, no arguments? No. No. When I can, I'm still young. Let's see. I'm not convinced. All these talks, and of course we people come and make it even